If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd work for all my life.
Robert Friend was an American red-tailed pilot who fought bravely in World War II and Vietnam.
Where and when were you born?
Where was I born?
Yeah.
South Carolina. I was born in South Carolina, and I lived there until I was third grade. At that, my father was in World War I, and having been in World War I, is how he met my mother, because he was stationed at a place called Fort Jackson, which is in Columbia, South Carolina, and he met her there. And then after the war was over, he wanted to go to New York, so that's where I was raised from the time I was in third grade on. A lot of people don't really know what the significance is of red tail. Red tail, you know, when the 15th Air Force brought in the P-51s, they had 4 P-51 groups. And when these groups go up and support bombers, the bombers don't know who they are unless there's some significance. So they assign colors to the tails of all of these groups. Ours was red. The 31st had a striped red. The 52nd was all yellow, and the 325th was checkerboard, black and yellow. And so the red wasn't significant for race or anything else. It was significant for operational reasons.
My lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away.
Why did you choose to be a pilot?
This guy's got to earn a living in some way, maybe anyway, after he gets out. So they had manual courses that we could take, and I took aircraft. And the reason I was interested in flying is because I saw them airplanes flying, you know, and gee, well, that guy get up there.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to.
What were your first days at training camp like?
When I first went for my basic training
Yeah.
in flying, oh
Yeah.
Lord, yeah. Well, I left New York and I got off and I didn't see anything because it was night. It was dark, closed up. I went over and I saw a phone, and it was one of those phones with cranks, and it said, "Incoming cadets, crank 3 times." So I cranked 3 times, the guy came on, he said, "How many of you there?" "Just me." "Okay, I'll pick you up, just wait." 2 o'clock in the morning. So he came by, they came by with a truck, picked me up, threw me up. I didn't have anything with me. You go to in the military, they don't expect you to bring a lot of clothes and all that. What I had on was what I had. And my shaving kit, that was all. I was shaving by then. So I had my shaving kit. And when I got to the base, the guy said, "Okay, I'm gonna put you up." So he took me past the place, gave me a blanket, a pillow, you know, and a sheet, drove me down to a building. He said, "Go in there and find a bed." I went in the building. I didn't see anything. I went up 1 flight of stairs. That's all they had, 2 floors. I got on the 2nd floor, found a place, put the bed down, and got on the bed. Now it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And it looks like no sooner than I got on the bed, and all of a sudden the horns are blowing and all kinds of other things. And a guy comes through and he said, "Okay, dummy, out of there, out of there. Okay, dummy, out of there." I'm looking at him, I don't know what he's talking about, you know. I'm still dressed in my gum bottom shoes. So he said, "Get out, we're having reveille." Whatever reveille is. You know, go downstairs. So he came down behind me and he had a big saber on and a uniform and all that. And he was a cadet though. And he said to me, "Dummy, I told you to hit the door." So I went out the door, came out, sent me back in. I said, "Hit the door." I went out, I bumped the door and came out. Guy sent me back in again. Hit that door. I broke it. But anyway, then they took me, shaved all my hair off, threw me some clothes and said, "This is your uniform." And after that, I was a dummy for 2 months.
Do you have a favorite story from your wartime experience?
Yeah, well, I can tell you some funny stories, I can tell you some tragic stories. Okay, a funny story. As I told you that as we go into various phases of training, you know, you have more capability from the airplane and things that are required on you. Well, when we went to basic, was the first time we had radio. Before that, you had lights. The guy flashed his lights and you flash back and all that. And your instructor could talk to you, but you couldn't talk to him. And he talked through something called a Gosport. And it was just like a phone. And the phone came up to your ears. And he would say, "If you hear me, you nod." But you couldn't answer him. But when we went to basic, we got radio. Oh boy, now we can talk to the instructor both ways and everything else, right? But they had to teach us radio procedures. You familiar with radio procedures, right?
Yeah.
So, the guy explained everything to us, you know, about how you go through the program and how you make your calls and how the things, the words that you use, the specialized things that you say, you know, over and out and all that business. So, we went on our first mission, our first training mission, and we came back. Oh, everybody was happy. So the instructor said, "Anybody have any trouble with radio?" He said, "Well, good, I'm glad to hear that. Everything's fine." So then the guy said, and he said, "Yes, Mr. Rogers, what's the problem?" He said, "I don't have a problem. It's everybody else. They're all using my name."